If you're looking for some rules to follow for success, look no further. Grant Cardone is a loud billionaire real estate investor and top business expert, and I'm going to share with you his 10 best tips for making it big in life. Welcome to the Peak Performance channel, the place where you come to be inspired to create a more prosperous future, and I'm excited to share with you this video on the 10 rules for success according to Grant Cardone. This guy knows what he's talking about. He's made millions of dollars and helped countless people achieve their goals. So whether you're just starting out or you've been struggling for years, these tips will help you get on the right track. Rule number 1. Your duty is to succeed. One of Grant's famous mottos, success is your duty, obligation and responsibility. He believes that if you pursue success in any other way, as most people do, you will fail. You're not going to be successful unless you demand it, unless you stake a claim to it and scream, "This is mine." Imagine if you had to obey your boss, come to work on time and pay your mortgage just like you have to take a shower or eat. You would have to do it because it's important, not because you're excited to give your money away. You have to think of it as an obligation, something you have to do in order to be successful. Rule number 2, prioritize deals. Grant says that you have to make time for the things that will make you money. You need to prioritize your time and do those things first. This includes putting in time and energy to your sales training. In one of his videos, he says that if you have to choose between eating a cheeseburger and serving a customer, you should choose to serve the customer. Most sales managers say that they don't have time for sales training because they don't believe that it will help them make more money. He says that people who say they don't have time really mean that they don't make what is important a priority, and so they don't have time for it. You need to do things that will make you money because your top priority is to make money. Rule number 3, work hard. You should have such a strong work ethic that people admire you. If people don't know you by your work ethic, then you're not working hard enough. This is what Grant says. People might say that you work too hard or too much, but that just means you're doing more than the average person. He says that the truth is no matter how good your ideas are, how good your art is, or how good your skill set is, if you're not working hard, you're not going to make it. The 10 times rulebook explains why you need to take more action than you think is necessary to achieve your goal in order to be successful. You need to be doing a lot more than most people to get the success you want. Rule number 4. Decide to ignore the little man. When you say that you could do something, it means that it's possible for you to do it. But don't worry if the next day you feel like saying, "Nah, that's too hard." You just have to learn to ignore that voice. You will always have someone who's trying to slow you down. It's important to learn how to say no to that person and keep looking forward. When you feel like you're ready to give up, remember to accelerate and don't let that little man stop you. Rule number 5, don't be negative. Negativity is just negative. There's no money in it. When you feel negativity creeping in, it's important to stay away from it. Remember that little man who is trying to hold you back? Ignore him and ask yourself, what is the solution instead? As Grant says, there's so much abundance in negativity that by itself tells you why there's no value in it. You should always stay away from negativity. It is never good for you. Hey, here's a quick reminder before we continue. Make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe and notification button if you haven't already done so. It means that YouTube sends you more of these kinds of videos and it helps our channel as well. Now, let's get back to the video. Rule number 6. Have a goal in mind. You have to make a commitment to achieve your target. Grant mentions that every time his company doesn't reach its sales target, he reminds his entire team what the target is by asking where they are right now. No target results in no sales is something I found to be true. How can you successfully sell something if you don't see it? You need to set a target that is measurable. even if it is measured hourly. In his 10 times planner, he breaks down the day into phases of a few hours. This way you can be more focused by measuring your progress hourly. Make sure you have a target and measure it regularly. Rule number 7. Do not rely on a single product. Grant doesn't rely on just one product or one income stream. He has multiple sources of income, like his speaking engagements, webinars, sales training program at cardoneu.com, and other products. This gives him more security and makes it easier to maintain a steady income. He believes it's better to create a second stream of income that operates parallel or symbiotically with the first, so they complement each other. He also suggests that if you're not ready to go all in on one business, by which he means putting your money where your mouth is, don't do it at all. Rule 8. Believe. There are many mistakes that salespeople make. Some of the most common ones are not being enthusiastic and not showing that they want to help the customer. You also need to remember to sell the solution, not just a product. He tells a story of how he was shopping for a watch. The salesperson couldn't close the sale, so after he left, his wife Elena asked him how the salesperson would have closed the sale. Grant came in wearing a similar priced watch, and he knew exactly what he wanted. Apparently, he was qualified to buy the watch. Grant said the salesperson would have brought life to the sales cycle. He could have kept the cycle open, implying that the salesperson didn't believe in himself enough to close the transaction because he didn't demonstrate any passion throughout the conversation. Grant advises approaching all customers and sales cycles with the belief that they can be closed right away. Rule number 9. Use your potential. You should work as hard as you can, not just until you hit your quota. Grant says that if you ever wonder why successful people keep pushing themselves, it's because they don't set limits based on quotas. They set limits based on their potential. Grant says that you're the only one who knows what you're capable of. Quotas are just numbers, and they're not always accurate. Do not let anyone set your target for you. Work on your potential. Rule number 10. Don't quit. In a short video, Grant offers advice and anticipates that there will be moments when things don't go your way. Keep going forward in those circumstances and don't give up no matter what you do. Just keep going. The ability to persist is what ultimately distinguishes those who succeed from those who fail. Thank you for being all ears throughout the entire video. If you'd like to learn more about the nature of this business, subscribe now and click on the notification bell to be updated with my latest uploads. To create is effort, to copy is genius. Albert Einstein. If you want to expand your income by engaging with some side hustles, feel free to contact me so we'll get things moving right away. Remember, if you want to change your life, let's make a change together. You need to make a change.